Hi, this is Dr. Stephanie Stroud with Cornerstone's Pet Tip of the Week. How are you doing tonight? Wanted to give you guys some tips today. So it is Valentine's week. I don't know if you guys are big romantics, but I certainly have some in my family. But with having that, being romantic and getting all this other kind of stuff like chocolates and flowers and candies, we can have some dangers to our pets. And so I'm going to have 5 tips for you guys tonight on how to combat some of that, or tips to watch for things. So the first thing you want to watch for with the candies and everything is something called xylitol. That starts with an X, Y-L-I-T-O-L. And xylitol is a toxin to pets that can often be found in some peanut butters, certain brands, as well as most commonly in your sugar-free candies and gums. And so definitely if you are getting sugar-free things, you definitely want to keep those candies and gums away from your pets, just because they can be very curious and you can end up causing very low blood glucoses and hypotension, and they can end up here in the hospital with us. So make sure you keep the candy out of the way. Number 2 thing that we see with all of the stores and the fun, we see a lot of decorations with ribbons and cards and glitter and everything, which those things are perfectly fine, but be aware that strings and other decorations can be choking hazards for your pets as well as your young toddlers, I'm sure you know, but also especially cats. Cats love to chew on string. If they swallow that, that can cause an obstruction, and that's a big mess. So make sure you're keeping your fun decorations up and away from your pets. Number 3, one of the big things we see with romance is you like to light candles. I do too. I'm guilty too. Just be aware that you want to make sure that if you have cats or if you have dogs that are jumping on and off the counter, or if you have big dogs that maybe put their front paws on the counter and like to sniff, 1, you don't want your pet to get burnt by the flame, but 2, you don't want them to knock those candles down and potentially cause a fire hazard for you. So I actually recommend using the LED ones that won't actually end up with a flame to where you'll have a problem. So definitely be aware of that. Number 4 is flowers. I love flowers. I think they're so pretty. One of the big things we see is that oftentimes in the bouquets now we see lilies being substituted for roses. Lilies can be very, very toxic to our pets, okay? Especially cats. They can cause kidney failure. And so if you have cats at all, I really just recommend make sure your special someone does not get lilies for you. If you do get a bouquet with lilies, make sure you keep it in a completely separate room from the cats so that they are not even tempted to go chew on it or lick on it at all. Anytime you bring in things with bright colors and that are new, animals are always curious, and so even if maybe you have plants at home and they don't mess with them at that time, this is new, and so they may be curious to be looking at that, but we absolutely do not want our cats to be in kidney failure here, so be cautious of the lilies. The 5th one is a very common toxin. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. It's all over the internet, but chocolate. Okay, chocolate is like a Valentine's staple, so be careful with your chocolate, okay? Chocolate toxicity depends on the amount ingested as well as the type of chocolate. So baker's chocolate and dark chocolate tend to be a lot more toxic than milk chocolate or white chocolate, but any chocolate can be toxic if your pet has ingested enough of it. So definitely, again, keep the candy, keep the flowers, keep the decorations, candles, keep them up and out of the way of the pets. Remember, pets are very curious. They may jump on counters, they may get on furniture, and so you want to be aware of these things so that you can make sure you keep your fur babies safe. If you do see that one of your pets has just been really, really ornery, even though you were very diligent in trying to keep things away, and you are nervous that your pet ingested some candy or some chocolate or some plants and flowers and you're not sure if it's poisonous, or you know it's poisonous but you don't know what to do, I recommend calling the Pet Poison Helpline. They're open 24/7. They can help you 24/7. The number for that is 855-764-7661. If you're watching this, go ahead and write that number down, put it on a sticky note, create a magnet, whatever, put it on your refrigerator so that if something happens, you're not fumbling around Googling it or looking for this video and trying to find that. So that is the pet tips for this week. I hope you guys have a just wonderful Valentine's week full of love, whether that be with your family or with a special someone or your fur babies. You know, love can come in so many different forms, and so don't worry about if you're single. Don't even worry about that, okay? The big important thing is what Valentine's Day about is that you feel loved, okay? And love comes in so many different fashions. So I hope you have a great day. We will chat with you next week.